So this is where we did all the principal photography for Go-Kart Alley for the trailers that we shot. The Go-Kart Alley sign pole is still here, but it got moved to the other side. All this junk sitting out here is still there, and that's kind of what drew me to this place to want to film here in the first place. It just looked like a small engine shop. And so that's the old shed there that was falling down when we found it, and we had to do a lot of work on it to put it back in shape where it could even film. And it was just supposed to hold together long enough to film those episodes, and amazingly it's still standing. So it's been 5 years since we've done the filming. We're gonna go in and take a look and see what it looks like inside there. So this is where we had all the go-karts set out. It's supposed to look like a used car lot for kids, like their own used go-kart lot. So we had, like, the boys would build a go-kart, go on this big adventure with it, and then it would wind up on here for sale, and then the next episode they build another go-kart and go on some other adventure with that. So it was fun staging all these go-karts out here sitting for sale. And while we were filming, people were actually pulling in here going, "Are these go-karts for sale?" You know, they saw the sign and everything. They actually thought it was a real go-kart shop. So that was kind of cool, kind of made everything actual when we did it. Take a look at how it looks inside. Oh, I got more stuff falling down here. Oh no! The cracks in the floor are worse. This shelf here had all this groovy electronic stuff on it, and it's all fallen. We just kind of propped the shelf up here. And there's these, it's all this, what do you call it, steampunk looking things in here. The guy who used to own this building way back in the day, he was like an engineer for Lockheed or something, and he had all these radiotronics and vacuum tubes and just like things like this whole, you know, just this really cool steampunk stuff, and we had it all set up there as props. This is actually a piece of chain from a feeder from my farm when I was a kid, and I put it in there just as kind of a reference to where I came from. But most of this stuff was here except for the engines. Oh, the answering machine, because we had a phone in here for the boys' go-kart business. When we were setting all this up, we called it the giving shop, because we would need something, screws or nails or something, and we just, everywhere you looked we would find something. Like there were screws and rivets and nails, and just every time we'd think, oh man, I gotta go back to the house to grab some stuff, you would just find something else, like, oh, it's here already, I didn't have to look. And this was my toolbox when I worked at Bell Helicopter. Excuse me. And we kept it in here just for looks sake. Oh, it's you can see on there. It says Jess McCormick, professional caddy service. Phone number 88910. That was my childhood phone number back when you only had to dial one digit of the town you were in. This is when he made his fake business card to con his way into the country club for the Rockford Files episode. We also had parts and stuff still in here. A lot of things left over from Bell Helicopter work. Ah, that's pretty groovy. Old V8 Ford. I should put that on the T-bucket. See if that'll stay up. Get a good look at the extra parts here. This was just on the property, and it's cool because it's the same engine that's on my Orange Crate go-kart from when I was a kid, so we kept it around. Just looked like something that they would draw parts from. So this one was our foreshadowing to be a Blues Brothers kart. We wanted to do a Blues Brothers episode. This is a Simplex kart made in, what you call it, where'd they make it? New Orleans, Louisiana. I picked it up I'd like to restore it one day, but it's in pretty rough shape. And it's horrible to sit on. It's like horribly uncomfortable. So I just wanted to paint it up to give the impression of it being Blues Brothers for that foreshadowing. And then this one here, I call it Kart Ski and Clutch. These are both vintage racers that someone kind of hacked up and put on. So we painted it red and put that white stripe on there because it kind of reminded me of the Torino from Starsky and Hutch, that TV show. So we intend eventually to do all these as an episode if we ever film a regular TV series, but in our proof of concept we just wanted, you know, some foreshadowing. The yellow one, we weren't certain what that was, if that was like Daisy from the Dukes of Hazzard's first car was yellow and black like that. We just call it Bumblebee. And I don't know, some McCormick and one of his friends painted that one blue, you know, used like 8 cans of paint. And that one on the end is a pretty tore up version of our General Lee go-kart. It's a Clark frame. I think I even picked that up after filming. But yeah, that's how she looks now. Pretty sad. Still amazing that it's standing at all, I suppose. So it's gonna be pretty sad to see this go. I know the city's been after Jeff to tear it down, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. So I knew that it couldn't stay forever. I'm actually surprised it stayed this long. I would love to see it stay, but it's not even worth taking apart piece by piece. I'm just going to take all these props and go put them in storage somewhere, so when we do film the full-on series, then I can still have these parts here. But it's been fun. It was it's definitely a part of my son's childhood, and I got, you know, a chance for me to relive mine through this, and things that I pictured in my head writing at these boys in the shop and everything. This so much embodied that it was nice to have here for a while, and we'll just see how it goes. I just know it can't last forever, so just take a few last looks around and start gathering this old junk up. So, well, thanks for tuning in and taking a little tour of the Go-Kart Alley shop 5 years after filming. And hope you liked our little barn find-esque video. So we'll see you in the next one.